Imagine a young athlete named Joy. From the moment she picked up a basketball, she was unstoppable, driven by pure passion. She'd spend hours on the court, lost in the love of the game. Every shot, every practice, every win fueled her fire. But then came the setbacks. Joy experienced injuries, she experienced losses, and she experienced self-doubt. And slowly, that fire that once burned so brightly began to fade. One day after a crushing defeat, she sat alone in the gym. And she began to ask herself, do I even want to do this anymore? Yeah, I still love basketball, but is it enough? And as she sat there contemplating giving up on her passion, she began to cry. And as she's crying, in walks Coach Riley. Coach Riley sat next to Joy and simply said, I know it's hard. You want to give up. But as you sit here and process this, remember that passion gets you started, but commitment keeps you going. What Joy realized that day is the very foundation of every extraordinary success story. It's not about what you love, it's about what you're willing to stick with when the excitement wears off. And today, we're going to talk about why commitment matters more than passion and how it separates those who dream from those who achieve. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and you're fired up about a new goal. Maybe it's launching a business or training for a marathon, finally writing that book that's been within you. The excitement is so real that you can physically feel it. Fast forward a few weeks and suddenly that fire isn't burning so brightly. That motivation you started with, gone. And now, just like Joy, you're asking yourself, do I want this anymore? We hear it all the time. Follow your passion. But passion alone is overrated. And the reason it's overrated is passion is an emotion. It's not a strategy. Just like motivation, that passion can burn brightly one day and dwindle away when things begin to get tough. Think about it. How many times have you started something that you were really excited about only to lose steam when the initial thrill wore off? Maybe it was a fitness routine or a creative project. At first, you were all in, but then the workouts got harder, the project hit snags, the business idea didn't take off as far as you had hoped, and suddenly, the fire in you started to dim. That's because passion is like caffeine. It gives you a jolt of energy, but it ain't lasting all day, baby. Commitment, on the other hand, is consistent, it's essential, and what actually sustains you long term. And I want you to remember this. Passion without commitment leads to inconsistency, and inconsistency kills growth. No matter how talented you are, and you may have talent from your hair follicles to your toenails, no matter how inspired you are, you may feel like you can climb Mount Everest. If you only show up when you feel like it, you'll never build anything lasting. Passion may light the fire, but commitment is what keeps it burning. Now ask yourself, what's one small, consistent action I can take to stay engaged? It really doesn't matter what it is. What's most important is that you build a system and not a feeling. Let's talk briefly about the power of commitment. As we've established, passion is easy, it's exciting, and it's energy. But when all that is gone, all you are left with is your commitment to your desired end. Commitment is when you push through early mornings or late nights. It's when you push through those moments of self-doubt and disbelief. It's when the results aren't immediate and the progress feels slow, but you keep going anyway. One of my favorite movies is The Pursuit of Happiness. And The Pursuit of Happiness is a movie that is based on the true story of Chris Gardner. Chris Gardner spent a year homeless, working as an unpaid intern while caring for his son. And one of the things that you notice when watching the film is that passion didn't get him through the nights sleeping in the train station bathroom holding his boy. Commitment did. Chris Gardner showed up, studied harder than anyone else, and refused to quit. He was committed, and that's why he eventually became a multi-millionaire stockbroker. And a lot of times we say to ourselves, I need motivation. But I want to ask you this question. Is it more motivation you need, or is it commitment you lack? Because motivation is a feeling. You need to feel like doing this. Commitment is a decision. And to decide means to cut yourself off of any other possible solution. And when you commit, you remove emotions like motivation out of the way. And you stop waiting to feel like it and start doing what's necessary day after day. Write down your biggest goal currently. And under that biggest goal, I challenge you to write down 3 commitments that will keep you moving forward even on the days that you do not feel like it. Now, the thing is, these commitments should be non-negotiable. If your goal is to get in shape, commit to 3 workouts a week. No excuses. If your goal is to write a book, commit to 500 words every 3 days. No excuses. If your ultimate goal is to build a business, commit to 1 hour of focused work every day, even if your progress seems slow. And never forget that success isn't built in grand gestures. It's built on the small, consistent actions you take when no one's watching. The thing about commitment is commitment doesn't happen by accident. Commitment happens by intention. It's something that is built. And like any strong structure, the foundation of commitment relies on clarity, discipline, and consistency. Let's start with clarity. Vague goals lead to vague results. You've heard the saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. If you're not clear on where you're going, and if you're not clear on what you want, how will you stay committed when things get hard? Instead of saying, I want to get healthier, say, I want to lose 20 pounds so that I can stay healthy in my body and I can have more energy to spend with the ones I love. No clarity, no commitment, no desired end. Number 2, create a plan. Commitment without a plan is just wishful thinking. So this is how this works. I have clarity on what I want, which allows me to make a commitment to what I want. And this is how I'm going to walk through that commitment. Number 3, own your progress. Track your efforts, review your results, adjust your strategy. Brad Isaac was a comedian starting in the comedy circuit. One night, he found himself performing in a club where Jerry Seinfeld was performing. Brad said that he met up with Seinfeld backstage and he said, hey, do you have any tips for a new comic? And Seinfeld responded, well, the way to be a better comic is to write better jokes. And the way to write better jokes is to write every single day. Seinfeld encouraged Brad to get a big wall calendar, one that had the whole year on it, and put it on a wall where you would see it all the time. And he said, once you get the calendar and it's on the wall, get yourself a big red marker. And each day you complete your task of writing, put an X on that day. After a few days, you'll have a chain, and all you have to do is just keep at it. You'll see the chain growing longer every day, and you'll like seeing the chain grow, especially when you have a few weeks under your belt. And Seinfeld concluded with, your only job is to not break the chain. Now, maybe you're not trying to be a comedian, but I bet you there's an area in your life where you can set yourself up to not break the chain. Cross off every day you make action, build momentum, and don't let the streak end. Number 4, lean on discipline. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. This is when it's most important that you do it anyway. Discipline is the ingredient that turns intention into results. Number 5, consistency compounds. Now, let's say you use the Seinfeld strategy and you end up breaking the chain. Even if you slip up, don't let one missed day turn into 2. Get back on track immediately. So let's try this out. Choose one daily habit that aligns with your goal and commit to it for 30 days. Track your progress, reflect weekly, and adjust as needed. And then come back to this video and put a comment and tell us how it went. Now, one of the things that I love about commitment is it isn't just about the work. As you become a more committed person, it shows up in every area of your life. In your career, it might look like doing the work when nobody's watching, investing in your growth when no promotions are in sight. In your relationships, it might look like showing up for your partner, your family, or your friends, even when life gets busy. In personal growth, it might look like committing to learning, reading, and improving. Take Derek Redmond, the Olympian that tore his hamstring mid-race. He could have stopped. Most of us would have stopped. Instead, he limped forward, refusing to quit. And one of the most beautiful moments was that his father ran on to the track and helped him cross the finish line. And that moment was more powerful than any gold medal. Because ultimately, commitment isn't about perfection. It may look messy. It's about persistence. And I made this simple video as a reminder to you that in order to accomplish anything, it's going to take commitment and the courage to continue. Passion starts the fire. And passion is great, but commitment keeps it burning. And when you commit, you build resilience. You develop the grit to push through setbacks. And over time, your commitment leads you to extraordinary results. Every single person that you admire, their success wasn't built on passion alone. It was built on the ability to stay committed when things got tough. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for passion to strike again. Pick one goal you've been putting off and take action today. Make the call. Sign up for the class. Send the email. Whatever it is, move. Because your next level isn't waiting on passion. Your next level is waiting on your commitment. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. We are building a community of 100,000 expanders. And if you've already subscribed, share this video with someone who you think it'll help. Always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.